with me tonight, the one and only Dr. Anna Cabeca. I am so excited. I feel like I have a true rock star right here in front of us tonight. And I am so excited to have her on Sunday night service. So as you guys get logged on and you get primed up here, hit your heart buttons, hit your like buttons. You know, we're over on Be Live tonight, so it's a little bit delayed, but you're going to want to share this with all of your tribe. So start a watch party, hit the share button, hit the start a watch party, and let's get started. And while you guys are logging on and this thing is catching up tonight, I'm going to read you a little bit about Dr. Cabeca here. I am so excited to have her on here tonight. But I listened, let me tell you, Dr. C, I listened to about 12 of your podcasts between yesterday and today. Oh yeah, it's great. You guys are going to know why they call her the girlfriend doctor, because literally she's like, oh yeah, wine. Do you have any wine? She's like sitting on the couch with your girlfriend. There we go. It's Sunday night, so a little bit. Mm-hmm. Cheers. Mm-hmm. She's like sitting with your best girlfriend talking. And I first heard about her when I inherited a patient that was a patient of Dr. Cabeca's in St. Simons, Georgia. And she was a patient of hers, and I inherited Angie. And Angie was telling me all about Dr. C. And, I had these huge shoes to fill. And then last year when I was in Miami, I heard her speak at a conference. And when she put this slide up on the PowerPoint, I knew that this was my woman right here, because you guys know that I talk about the vagina all day, every day, and ask everyone. It's a huge piece of my 6 steps to healing is how's your sex life. So I met her. I mean, I didn't meet her there, but I heard her lecture. And then I met her personally in New York City in February when we were at a conference together, and I fell in love with her. And you guys are going to know why I did very soon. But a little bit about her. You guys hit your heart buttons, share it. I haven't even had a chance to look on Facebook yet. When she's talking, I'll get it pulled up on Facebook on my phone too.
I just shared it on mine too. So
you did? Okay. Well, as soon as you start talking, I'll do it. But I'm going to tell you, this lady right here, she's triple board certified, OBGYN, integrative health, MD. I don't even know what else she's certified in, but she's a mama. She's an advocate for women's health, right? She's a sister. She's a daughter. She's a friend. She's an MD. She's all the things, a researcher, an educator. She's just like us, just like all of us women out there fighting through, going through the struggle. Her specialty, which happens to be what mine is, well, mine's Hashimoto's, but hers menopause and women's health. And I don't know if you know this, but I'm a nurse midwife. I don't practice as nurse midwifery. I only do family practice and basically transitioned out of all that to just hormones and all. But she is, she's one of the best. She's one of the most well-researched and loved OBGYNs and authors and educators and advocates for women out there. And I'm honored to have her here tonight. She has a podcast. She has multiple books out. She has courses out. She's created her own products. She's a single mom with 4 girls, right?
Yes. She's 4 daughters. Yes.
4 daughters. She's all the things. All right. All right, guys. While you guys are logging on, I'm going to give you a few little statistics here that I usually like to start with. Do you know that 27 million women between the age of 45 and 64 in the American workforce go through menopause each year? And I can tell you right now, that's not fun, because my office manager and myself, we went through menopause together 18 months ago. And it was one hairy time in integrative family medicine, I can tell you. 31 million women in menopause age are employed. 80% of those 31 million women experience menopausal symptoms. Hot, cold, I mean, the whole thing, right? Anger, clothes coming off, clothes going on. I felt so terrible for my patients during that. I had a horrible time going through it. 75% of postmenopausal women suffer from vaginal atrophy. Younger women experience vaginal atrophy as well. We're going to discuss that tonight. Do you know that the life expectancy of women is greater than 80? Now, that was in the 2010 census. If you guys will fill your 2020 census out, we'll know real soon what our life expectancy is. Hopefully it's gone up. The average age of menopause is 50.5 years. Many women, we expect to live almost 40% of their lives after menopause. Isn't that?
We are not done yet, right? We are not done.
We're just getting started. But what about the women who are living with vaginal pain, right? They're living with painful intercourse. They're living with just horrible hormonal symptoms. I mean, 40% of their lives after menopause. And you don't have to live in pain and you don't have to live in misery. We're going to talk about that tonight. Hot flashes decrease with age. As a rule, they do. But vaginal atrophy does not decrease. It does not get better. I can tell you that. It does not get better, does it? Not unless it's addressed. And stress incontinence does not get better either by itself. That's for sure. More than 40% of women in the U.S. report sexual problems. You know, I think that's higher because I'm going to tell you right now, I listen to women every day. 90% of my practice is women. And I ask every woman about diet, sleep, exercise, pooping, sex. How's your sex drive? Non-existent. That's the word that I hear all day, every day. Non-existent. And it's unbelievable to me, from young women who have little children all the way up to, you know, postmenopausal women. They don't have a sex drive. They're not using their vagina. That's what they're not using it. You know, they're miserable. Actually, they're absolutely miserable. 20 to 25% of symptomatic women with vaginal atrophy do only 20 to 25% seek medical help. And I believe that. And I think there are multiple reasons for that, right? They're embarrassed about it. They believe their doctor might just actually shrug them off and say, you know, whatever. So we're going to talk about that tonight. All right. I'm excited. I can't wait for Dr. Cabeca to tell us about your Julva cream, which I have heard about for a long time. I'm not sure when this came out, but I have heard about it. I've got patients who swear by it. And guys, I have a whole basket of it here at the office that we can sell you or ship to you. And, you know, we're going to make this vagina 100% where it needs to be. Tell us about that. Tell us about your Keto Green 16 book coming out. All the products you've developed too, because I'm really interested in your Pure Balance PPR.
Yes.
I need to get that in the office. But guys, here we have, Angie's on right now.
I saw Angie. Hey, Angie. Good to see you.
Okay, well, you, Dr. Cabeca, you take it over. We haven't even talked about this. Normally, we kind of, you know what we're going to talk about, but we're going by the seat of our pants tonight.
Danny's very trusting today. Very, very trusting.
Very trusting.
You never know what's going to come out of my mouth.
I love it. So any woman who has a slide like this on her PowerPoint, I'm telling you, that's who I want in my life right now. So take it over, my friend. Tell us what we need to know, about everything, all the things that you've done.
Yeah, well, I think it just starting is that number one, you're absolutely right. Like there is the best part of our life is yet to come. And I think that is really to embrace that reality for us, because, you know, where we direct our thoughts, that is the direction we go. And it does not mean we are not destined to have aches and pains and be hunched over and, you know, have incontinence and have no sex life and have brain fog and dementia, which is 2.6 times higher in women than men. We are not destined to have it. We can reverse these problems if we're on that trajectory and really optimize our life so that we can, number one, that we can have lots of love in our life, right? We want love, and we want to flourish as we bloom, right? This is the time to blossom and bloom so we can flourish, and we get fun, plenty of fun too. And not to mention, and to do that, we really have to constant fortification of our body, fortification of this body, which is the temple or the cathedral of our spirit. And it is a process for the rest of our lives. I would tell my pregnant moms early on, If, start doing your pelvic floor exercises. Okay, just do it through pregnancy, they would ask. And I would say, no, till you die, right?
That's
Do
true.
your pelvic floor exercises till you die. Because as a gynecologist, one thing that I saw is the struggles that women have as we get older with issues of incontinence and loss of desire and rectal issues, prolapse issues, pain issues, discomfort, recurrent urinary tract infections. And as we get older, they're harder and harder to deal with, and they compromise the quality of our life.
Yes.
Even early on, if you're a runner and you start leaking every time you go run and you have to wear pads and it's uncomfortable, you stop running, right? You stop. And so you stop doing activities that you love. And so I definitely want to share about this and discuss it, because I tell you, as I tell my patients, clitoris to anus, prime real estate, we need to take care of it as such.
Oh my gosh, that is perfect. Yes, clitoris to anus. That's exactly right.
It is. And that's how we have to take care of it. So for me, in my journey, I was looking for my sample of Mighty Maca, but of Jolva. But in my journey too, I was diagnosed with early, and Angie, I don't know if you followed my journey. Angie, I've known her for, at least 15 years, if not more. But, at age 39, so I'm 53 right now. But at age 39, I was diagnosed with early menopause, infertility, told I could never have another child. And I failed the highest doses of injectable meds. Now, here I am, an Emory University trained, so I think one of the best institutions in our nation. And my doctor's bag was empty. And that devastated me. It devastated me. It devastated my family. And it took me on a journey around the world. And to make a very long story short, but as a result of that and learning non-discriminatively healing remedies from around the world, as well as doing my soul work, which was really critical. I became pregnant, had a beautiful baby girl at age 41. So she is 12. I'm 53. She is 12. I'm 53 now. So we're going to go through, she's going to hit her teenage years. She's a very young 12. So she's hitting puberty and yes. And how exciting. That is just not good timing, God. I mean, what were you thinking? Making women go through perimenopause and menopause and kids go through puberty at the same time? What?
Yes.
So I had to be a hormone expert because I have 3 grown daughters. So I had to learn it in their life and mine. And that's really took me on a journey. When at 48, I started falling into the spiral again, and to heal myself from that. That's where I created my Keto Green way that I first wrote about in really my magnus opus, my book that I want everyone to read, The Hormone Fix. Dani has a copy there.
Right here.
And it is essential.
I've got pages marked out, turned down. I mean, I've started reading this when I got this book last year in Miami. This is a phenomenal book.
Thank you.
Yes.
And I think chapter 8 right now, my stress chapter, and I tell my personal journey there, but also talk about cortisol and oxytocin and how stress can create disconnection. And also, not to mention all the reproductive symptoms, irregular cycles, worsening PMS, brain fog, hating your husband, all of those hormonal symptoms.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Chapter 8. So that is, for me right now, that is mandatory reading for everyone. Chapter 8.
All right. I got it. I just turned it down. I'm going to watch it again or read it again.
Yes. And so, and then the next book coming out, I got this one here, Keto Green 16. So it's coming out May 5, but there are pre-order bonuses for it. So we can get started on it right away. And remind me at the end, I'll share, we've done some group medical visits with it, pre-release. And so, it's all good.
Oh, I'm excited about that. May the 5th, it'll be here 1 month from today, that book comes out.
Oh, wow. Yes, we are 1 month out.
Wow. Okay, so I want to talk about that book, and then I want to talk about what led you to this, Julva, and tell us about it and what's in it. Because I'm going to tell you, so I started using it after I got it, which hasn't been that long ago, February, I suppose, up in New York City. And I personally cannot take DHEA at all orally. I mean, I cannot. Mean as a hornet on 5 milligrams. I'll never forget my old boss. I was working and I was going through perimenopause. Anyway, all I did was start 5 milligrams of DHEA. And Dr. Dan Cow was like, what is wrong with you? Not only did I get mean as a hornet, my face broke out on just 5. So I've never taken it again. And my DHA level is like this, has always been. This has been phenomenal. Totally.
Thank you. Yeah. So as part of my journey, one of the things as a gynecologist and working with clients and helping them with incontinence issues, sexual dysfunction issues, I started using vaginal hormones in my pre-surgical patients with incontinence, for instance. I would use vaginal hormones to improve my surgical result. Well, as I got better and better, my patients would come in after, I've prepped them. They'd come in for their pre-op before surgery after being a month or two on my vaginal hormone or topical hormone cocktail. And they're like, Dr. Anna, I don't have any more incontinence symptoms. I'm not feeling the pelvic pressure. I feel better overall. I'm like, then I can't operate. They're like, really? Yes. Then we don't have to operate. Just like hormonal changes cause wrinkles in our skin, the laxity in our this area, tricep area of our arm, whatever we call that. And, it's happening to our pelvic floor. What shifts is using bioidentical hormones. Not estrogen helps the mucosa, but testosterone, progesterone, DHEA can work on all 3 layers of the pelvic floor. And so that's really what makes the difference. So you get the moisture, your natural glands start secreting again. It's healthier. It is anti-aging for the pelvic floor and at its best. And so when, and in my practice, using that to prescribe, using combinations to prescribe to patients, always an option. But patients who couldn't get it prescribed to them, I wanted to come up with an option. I had initially created some vaginal tablets, and then I converted to a topical cream so that we can apply it clitoris to anus, because the tissue around our anus is still very fragile, right? Fissures, hemorrhoids, we get that.
That's right.
And also clitoral atrophy. It's a real thing, and it just gets worse and can get atrophic, can get adhesions, and that's just really painful all the way around. Plus, we get the incontinence, the leaking when we cough or sneeze.
That's
we
right.
get the changes to our vaginal pH and also the decrease in pleasure. And so the nice thing is when we add back this and I researched creating an ideal combination. So Jolva, it has DHEA, which is an adrenal prohormone.
Yes.
It has plant stem cells from the alpine rose. Dani, these plant stem cells, when I was researching, because I wanted to use stem cell technology.
Yes.
When I was researching stem cells, these plant stem cells, these alpine roses blossom in the Swiss Alps amidst the harsh conditions of the ice and snow and rocky terrain. And I'm like, does that not define femininity?
Yes.
That is femininity. That is us, especially maturing, right? That is maturing femininity. So, and the plant stem cells have antiviral, and certainly anti-aging, improve fine lines and wrinkles. And yes, I think the wrinkles down there are more concerning than wrinkles here and anywhere else.
I agree. Lord have mercy. Okay. Alpine rose, DHEA.
And then emu oil, coconut oil, and shea butter, and some vitamin E too.
Yes.
So really nice.
What gives it this great, it smells incredible.
There is no fragrance added to it whatsoever. So
Alpine rose, maybe?
Just the alpine rose, and yeah. So just a beautiful combination. And I always say it has to be, taste good, smell good, clean formula, no parabens, no phthalates, nothing nasty in it.
How long do you think? A month? What do you think?
Oh, 1 tube lasts for 2 months. But typically some people will feel improvement So just using a pea size amount, or a eraser head size amount to start, and rub it in clitoris to anus, rub it in that vulvar tissue around the urethra, all along the labia. And it just goes in nicely. You don't have to worry about messy discharge suppositories, inserting anything.
No, you don't. And it's
just using it topically, it helps, it improves. And some people will see a difference right away. And sometimes it takes longer. It may take as long as 2 months. And so we may have to increase doses. But I also let clients know if they've had significant atrophy, because like significant dryness issues. If we're going from the Sahara to the Amazon, right? Sometimes if there's been dormant yeast or bacteria, we can maybe sometimes get a yeast infection typically. I mean, less than 1% of people, but always precaution. Then just decrease or stop for 3 days, treat with an antifungal, and start back up at half the dose. Julva is designed to work. It is designed to work fast, and work well. And so we have on our website now over 1,000 testimonials. 1,000 testimonials. Mm-hmm. They are.
Yeah, I've read a lot of them on there today. So and yesterday. Yeah, I am so impressed. I am so irritated that I wasn't. When did this come out? When did you develop this?
2016, late 2016. We first released it.
Well, I'm not that late, but pretty late. Yeah, I could have really helped a lot of people. I really could have. I'm impressed. So I'm excited. I mean, like I said, I've been using it, but it seems to be working beautifully. So I absolutely, so phenomenal. Somebody asked, what did they ask? It was something about it. I'll find it in a minute. I don't know. It just popped all the way through. Yes, Karen, her books are available online on Amazon or her website.
Anywhere books are sold.
Yes.
Absolutely. And then just definitely save your receipt number, and you can enter that back into our website to get some book bonuses. So for Keto Green 16, we have a 3-day roadmap and a quick start guide, and some feast recipes, some Keto Green feast recipes, all that to get you started with Keto Green 16. And then the Hormone Fix is available. It's been #1 in menopause on Amazon for over a year.
Yes, it has. And there's a reason why. It's absolutely fantastic. So I only hope that my book coming out in this summer, hopefully, good Lord, with all this going on, it can be half as good as this one.
Oh, I'm sure. I can't wait for it to go out. I know it's going to be great.
I can't wait either. But okay, so we know a lot about Julva now. And I'm telling you, ladies, if you have any questions on it, let me know. This white paper you did on DHEA, I read from cover to cover. It was phenomenal.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. I mean, I really wanted people to feel comfortable, including our clients who have been told they can't use hormones. Remember, DHEA is a pro-hormone. Our body is producing it. There are, the only precaution that I give is in clients currently using tamoxifen, but I'll always consult with your doctor if you have any medical conditions. Let's make that a really solid disclaimer. But the reason that I wanted something is because so many women, especially clients who have had breast diseases, aren't given any options. And, and those patients would come to me basically in tears at their last hope. And I know seeing tremendous restoration and reinvigoration of their body and their lives. So no woman should suffer. Doesn't matter how old you are. And I've had women in their 70s using it. I just need a couple women in their 80s to give me some testimonials now.
Well, I have an 89-year-old patient and I have an 86-year-old patient. These are they're my two oldest patients. And you want to know something, Dr. Cabeca? It's interesting. Both of them have been on bioidentical hormones since their 50s. They are in their 80s. And of course, our doctors don't recommend that, right? No. Both of them came from California, Southern California, two women who don't know each other at all. The 89-year-old is they both are just as spry as anything. They zip right in my office when it's their appointment. And I've never changed their prescription of their bioidentical hormones. They're on very low dose physiological doses. My 86-year-old was there just recently, and she had her hormones, because they always bring their hormones, which is nothing. It's never changed. I don't know why they do, but they bring them to me to look at, right? And she had them just like this in her hands. And she goes, Dani, I'm telling you right now, you're going to bury me with my hormones. Because I said to her, I said, Mary, I want to look like you, half of what you look like when I'm 86 years old. She said, it's this right here. And she had breast cancer. You know, she had breast cancer, and her doctor in California started her on Bioidentical's low dose. But I'm going to tell you, I could get both of those to use this for us.
Definitely see it definitely works. It works. And there's such a difference too, when you're using that topically, and that makes a difference in their lives. It's really beautiful. I can't wait to hear their testimonials.
We'll talk about that afterwards. Yes, I will do that, because they are, of course, they're social isolating right now, but I will ship them two things of that. Okay. I want to know about Keto Green 16. And I can't wait to learn about this, because you don't know so much about what I do in the office, but I'm a huge fan of a Mediterranean lifestyle. That's what I recommend with my patients. That's what I eat, is a Mediterranean lifestyle. And I listened to you today talking about interviewing somebody with Mediterranean, and I learned about your parents and you growing up in a Mediterranean lifestyle. So I want to know the difference. And if I'm a believer in a Mediterranean lifestyle, how do I translate that to a Keto Green 16? And what does that exactly mean? And I know.
Yeah, there's a lot of crossover there.
Okay.
There's a lot of crossover there. So what I do with Keto Green 16, I really want to push our bodies into ketosis. So specially designed for the perimenopause, postmenopausal woman, because our brain uses glucose for fuel or ketones for fuel, right? But the use of glucose for fuel is an estrogen dependent phenomenon. So as we start to decline our estrogen, that brain fog, anxiety, difficulty sleeping, these neurologic symptoms, right? The memory loss are all neurologic symptoms relate to our brain starving for fuel. So we know that as we get this age, 35 to 55, it's younger than we think. 35 to 55, we can start experiencing this. But when we shift to use ketones for fuel, it is not hormone dependent. So with Keto Green, a lot of foods very similar to the Mediterranean. It's how I grew up, the best of the best, right? But yet incorporating habits such as intermittent fasting, no more snacking, and so that we can actually shift and lower carbs, so we can shift into ketosis. Now, I believe in metabolic flexibility. We've been having a feast weekend. So we had sweet potatoes last night, and trying to think if we had anything that wasn't low carb today. But, definitely, very staying on the lower carb end. So in Keto Green 16, I eliminate dairy, I eliminate grains.
Okay.
And of course, there's no gluten, no grains, and it's designed. And with Keto Green 16, I chose 16 key foods. And there we go.
Okay, so that's what the 16 is. Okay.
16-hour intermittent fasting, 16 key food types for help with hormone balance and digestion and supporting our microbiome and hormone detoxification, 16 key food types, and 16-day plans. So most of us haven't ever done a 16-day plan. So that's nice. It's something new. We haven't failed a 16-day plan, and you will not. You will succeed in this 16-day plan. And the number 16, like as far as like a numerology or angel number, it's a number of willpower, strength, new beginnings, determination. It's like health and vitality. So I love the number 16 is good. That was just an after discovery thing. My publisher's like, what does the number 16 mean? I'm like, I don't know. Let me look it up. And so I looked that up. I thought that was perfect. So it's
phenomenal. So you started with the 16 foods, is that right? And then, okay,
16-hour intermittent fast.
16-hour fast. Okay.
So from dinner the night before, eat by 6 to 7 p.m. Start at 10 to 11 a.m.
Okay.
So you have that 16-hour intermittent fast. So we work up to that. There's like beginner, intermediate, and advanced level. And it is an omnivore plan, but I also put in there a 16-day vegan vegetarian plan, which I think too, even if we are, staunch meat eaters or whatever, that we should rotate through that plan at least a couple times a year. Just a good variety is the spice of life.
You bet it is. Amen to that. In more ways than one. Yes, it is.
It is. And so we ran some studies, Danny, and with Dr. Angeli Akey at her clinic in North Florida Integrative Medicine. So she's been doing group medical visits. So I went down for a couple of them to help launch. And this last one, we just followed up virtually. So we followed up regularly with them virtually. And in this group, because now they actually had the plan, I was able to pre-release some of the galley copies and the actual menus and recipes for them. So in this 16 days, this 16-day plan, I'm going to, the one man in the plan, I'm going to remove him from my statistics for a minute because he skews them. But the average age of the women who ran through this study were 61.6 years old. So again, working on the menopausal woman.
Okay.
And they lost an average of 9 pounds in 16 days. This is 61-year-old women. And the other thing, they felt stronger, felt clear, and they were very pleased to have the distraction and to focus on their health in a very logical, plan-based way. And so the gentleman on the study, who is a 57-year-old man who has about 80 pounds to lose, lost 30 pounds in 16 days. I was like, what, is this correct? I emailed their a data collector, and they're like, absolutely correct.
Yeah, it's correct, because I deal with men in the office, and the men always lose way more than the women do.
And even better, he never had to start metformin. He was at risk to start metformin, and he is graduating off of his blood pressure medicine. He actually went in because he was feeling weak, and it was his blood pressure was too low. So his doctor Dr. Akey had to reduce his blood pressure. So
wow,
I know, in 16 days.
Well, I've never done a ketogenic diet, and I do intermittent fast, but not 16 hours. So I'm going to try this.
You got to do it. I'll do it with you. Okay. Ready. Yeah.
It's best when you have a partner to do something with,
we should do it we should do a virtual group medical.
We should.
Yeah.
Because I've often thought about doing something like group visits, and I just have never pulled the trigger on it. James Maskell I've been listening to all of his things lately about group visits and stuff, and I've always wanted to do it, but but it's always best when you have a partner to work out with, right? To do something like this with. I used to have not a cooking club, but I used to have like 3 people when I lived in Paducah, Kentucky, and when our kids were little, and we cooked together. I would cook and take meals, and how, I don't know, I can't remember what the name of it was, but anyway, how we did it.
Co-op thing.
Yeah, co-op, whatever. And we cooked. Yeah, we cooked. And we would get our menus together, and it was great. I'm just a big believer in community. And I think group visits, cultivating community is my 6th step to healing, right below decreasing stress, which I think they all go together, especially this day and time. But I'm so excited to learn about this. And so, okay. And your recipes, now the recipes in here, because I haven't read all the recipes.
I got to read Deanna's comment. I think she's talking about Julva. This should be a quarantine necessity.
You bet it should be. Yes, it should. And you should revisit. Yes, Deanna, you know this. You know how I feel about this right here. So, yes, you guys all need to reconnect. I don't have a partner. Daggone it. But when I do, it's going to be ready. I can tell you that.
Well, let me tell you a story about this, because I have a client who consulted with me from across the country, and I closed my brick and mortar clinic to be single mom and dad to my youngest, who is now 12, who I'm homeschooling. I'm not bitter. I'm not bitter.
Good. God forbid. I meant to say, God bless you. God forbid. I could never do that. This season right now, where everybody is having to homeschool, if that had been me with my little ones, I don't know what I would have done.
Well, and too, like when you're in the moment and there's no option, you go through it, right? And we are actually, her older sisters are helping out, because I'm on book launch. I scheduled out morning to night every night. And so, so they're helping, and it's great. She's such an easy kid. So it really is good. But anyway, so this client consulted with me, and she is 56 years old, and she'd been divorced 20 years, raised her children as a single mom, and she started dating again, and she just fell head over heels. And she called me up one day. She goes, Dr. Anna, I am on my third urinary tract infection. This is my third round of antibiotics, and now my doctor wants to keep me on daily antibiotics.
Oh, no.
And I said, well, first of all, do you know what we call that? And she's like, no, what? I'm like, honeymoonitis.
That's right. Honey, that's the only time I've had a urinary tract infection on my honeymoon. That's funny.
Exactly, right? Exactly. And as we get older, we're more susceptible because the urethra kind of outpatches. It relaxes just like other muscles, and it's more likely to get bacteria in. Nothing to be ashamed about. And so I said, oh, absolutely not. First of all, let's take a daily probiotic, increase vitamin C to 2,000 to 4,000 IUs daily. 2,000 IUs daily is perfect. Pee after you have sex and start using Julva. Clitoris to anus is your prime real estate. She's like, okay. And seriously, her relationship continued to improve. They got engaged, and they're now moved in together and soon to be married. But that could have been completely different. If you have pain every time you do something, why would you? You start to distance. You start to, and I've heard this from couples that have rekindled their marriage, that have been essentially roommates to now being, lovers and boyfriend, girlfriend again. And I love that statement too. So.
That's right. I'm telling you, and it takes work. And Valerie just said, I could tell a difference the first week with Julva. She actually is the very first person that I knew that was using it. And I'm so glad you're on here, Valerie, tonight. Yeah.
Hi, Valerie. Thank you.
I just saw her last week, saw her last week. And she was telling me, I told her that I was going to try to get you on here, and she was thrilled to death about that. Okay. So Keto Green's coming out. And we know it's 16 hours, 16 days, 16 foods, and it is an omnivore diet. Yes. Yes. I eat a whole lot of vegetables, but I don't, and I love fish and I eat a lot of that. I don't think I could ever be a vegan or a vegetarian for 100% because I love a good steak every now and then. And I love pork and I love lamb. I mean, I don't eat a ton of it anymore, but I do eat it.
Well, I think listening to your body too and knowing your body. And the thing about Keto Green 16 is that the plentiful amount of alkalinizers, the concept of Keto Green, it's only about 25% of what we eat. What I'm teaching is the Keto Green way more so than a diet, although my publisher had me put diet on the book. So, Keto Green way, it's 25% about what we eat. So the alkalinizing vegetables really designed to help nourish our body and balance our hormones and detox hormones, supporting our gut microbiome and the diversity of our gut microbiome. That's crucial with the lifestyle habits. Now, these things are not part of the food. It is the intermittent fasting. It is the, sometimes extended fasting. It is no more snacking. So we are both getting alkaline, which helps manage cortisol. And we are getting into ketosis, which creates more insulin sensitivity. Both together, a very powerful combination for supporting our immune system, strengthening our body, and getting that clarity and clarity and health and vitality that each of us wants now more than ever. And so it's a combination. I always say too, it's not about what you eat. It's often too about who you're eating with. Could stress you out, right? Cannot eat and watch the news. That is no, absolute no.
Absolutely. Agreed. Well, I tell you what, I have not gotten on, I have just, again, been a fan of a Mediterranean lifestyle forever. And the more I listened to you, the more I read about it today, I was like, well, I can do this and eat Mediterranean. I mean, I can't wait. I'm really excited. I gained 13 pounds when I went through menopause, and I'm little anyway. I'm not a big person, but 13 pounds is a big deal. When the average weight gain that a woman gains going through menopause is what 25, 30 pounds? I can't remember.
I would say it's 25, 30, because I initially researched this, and their average weight gain was somewhere. I read a study. It said the average weight gain was 5 to 10 pounds in menopause. I'm like, that is not reality. Certainly not South Georgia. And I looked it up. It was a Norwegian study. I'm like, well, maybe in Norway they're doing something different, but in America it is easy 20 to 30 pound weight gain. I think it definitely, for me, 20 pounds overnight without doing anything different, And that's when my patients would come in to me and would say, Dr. Anna, I'm gaining 5, 10, 20 pounds and I'm not doing anything different. And early on, as a cocky young doctor, I don't know, Angie, if you would call me that, but I'd be like, sure, you're not. Really? How is that possible? What's in your bag? Let me see your snacks. What's going on? It happened to me at 48. I was spiraling down. I had kept off 80 pounds, kept it off for nearly a decade, and then basically 20 pounds overnight without doing anything different. And so that's where I understand the hormonal shifts. And I talk about those in Keto Green 16 too, but really, like, the plan is to master the hormones that are shifting. So we, by design, by our evolutionary design, by our genetic design, and our time of life that we're in, that we can use habits and lifestyle and nutrition to optimize our genes and optimize our hormones.
Yes. Well, I gained 13 and didn't change a thing.
Yeah.
Didn't change a thing. And I too were treating hormonal women before I ever went through menopause. Menopausal women before I ever went through menopause. And I was like, well, how is that? They're not telling me the truth. I'm like, no dairy, right? No dairy. It's gunky. It's thick. It clogs up your everything. And I'm like, I know they're cheating. Well, I'm telling you right now. I mean, there's something to be said for older providers who go through menopause. I think we learn a lot.
Well, I don't know about you, Dani, but when I went through medical school, we were 15 women out of 115 medical students. So yes. 15 women, 100 men when I went through. When I went through residency at OBGYN at Emory, that we were, I think, half women, half men in obstetrics and gynecology, the biggest group of women to go through at that time. So that was 1995. And so, it shifted a lot to have more women in obstetrics and gynecology. But for a long time, women are a minority in medicine. I was the first bilingual woman to come here to Southeast Georgia to practice. And I think that the more women physicians, especially that are hormone experts, go through menopause, that is where we're like, no, this is, antidepressants and, benzodiazepines are not the treatment of choice for us.
Well, I have told women for years, and I went back at 40. So I was the oldest one in my class at the time when I went back to nurse practitioner school, went to nursing school, nurse practitioner school after I got a divorce, 2 kids, food stamps, just a bloody nightmare going through school. And
you are a trailblazer. You are amazing. You are just really amazing. I want to acknowledge that. Single mom, going back to school, supporting her family, prioritizing her education and her passion. Obviously, you were made for this.
Well, thank you. And I love it. And I tell you what, it was the hardest 3 years of my life. 5 years on food stamps, 3 years in nurse practitioner, nurse midwifery, and then family practice. I did both. And what I was taught, this is what I was getting to. Thank you for saying that, is I was taught to treat women with 3 things. And depending on the age, it was synthetic birth control, right? Synthetic hormones, antidepressants, and then Premarin. Those were the 3 things that I was taught to treat women with. And that was only 10 years ago. Well, 13 years ago, I got out 10 years ago. So not that long ago, we're still treating women like that. I was given a handout at my nurse practitioner school, and I went to Vanderbilt. I went to a good school. I was given a handout, a big handout on the dangers and the witchcraft of bioidentical hormones. Don't ever prescribe them. Of course, I didn't know. What did I know? I was 40 years old, in my prime, stressed out. I didn't know. I was like, oh, well, that must be terrible. Who would write bioidentical hormones, right? On yeah, the myths of bioidentical hormones. You don't ever use that. Use Premarin, use Prempro, all whatever, Yes, yes. And it's still, that's only 10 years ago. So, I think it takes a brave provider who steps out of the box.
So true.
Right?
Yep.
And the majority of my class, I can honestly say, of 300 and something nurse practitioners or however many, very few of them have stepped out of the box and seen that there's a root cause, for everything going through it. Me with lupus, I wasn't born with lupus. I wasn't born with irritable bowel syndrome. I turned that on. And that's the thing with our patients, right? We turn these things on 99% of the time or more. And I am living proof, whatever you turn on, you can turn off. And, menopause is a privilege and a right of passage that many women never get the opportunity to go through. And I remembered that every hot flash I had. Dr. Christiane Northrup said that. I did not say that, so I can't take responsibility for that. But I listened to her lecture in Chicago one time, and she said, let me tell you something, ladies. Menopause is a privilege. It is a right. Many women never got to experience. And whoa, right? Think about that.
Wow, I love that. I love that. Yes. Oh my gosh, a rite of passage. Imagine if we didn't let our children go through puberty.
Exactly. Exactly. And when I got through menopause with the help of bioidentical hormones, I did not have Julva. I wish I'd had that. But when I got through menopause on the other side of it, wow, what an honor, what a privilege, and what freedom. Do you not feel like freedom? I don't know if you've gone through menopause or not.
I'm 53 now. Yeah, now I think I'm finally.
Oh yeah, 48. That's right. You went through the second one at 48. Yes. Who knows? You may have a third one. I don't know.
I know. We'll see.
But I'm telling you, I feel so much better now. And there's a freedom with aging that I want women to know that, this is, wow, what a freedom. And I don't know. I just feel liberated. I may be single. I may be alone, but I'm not lonely by any means. And I've got a great tribe around me. And it's just this amazing time in my life. And I think that when women can embrace that, we can do anything, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I just think I read a devotional each day, Give Us This Day, and it talks about, a blessed of the day, right? And I think these women, like even way back into the Middle Ages that were post-menopause, post-childbearing, right? And just doing amazing things, like, creating amazing programs, hospitals, orphanages, restorative centers. I'm like, I want to do that. There's a lot left. There's a lot left for us to do. And I think too of Mother Teresa, right? Tough old broad, right? Tough old broad.
You bet she wasn't she?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we have a whole lot to do. I know. I feel this sense of urgency now that I've got to get a lot of things done, that I'm on, or 50 something. Hopefully I'll be 108, but Valerie says, please do not forget to talk about the Pura Balance before you run out of time. This is great. Okay.
I love it.
I'm going to order it tomorrow for you guys. I'm going to call tomorrow because I don't have it in the office. Guys, I want you to listen to what she has to say about this. I do use a bioidentical progesterone cream in the office, but I want to know about this one.
Yes. Yeah. And I was looking to see if I had one right here to show you. I usually have it. Oh yeah, I do have it where I'm working because, I give a dose before I do talking. But this is the Pure Balance Cream, and it has both progesterone and pregnenolone. There we go.
The mother hormone.
Yes. Yeah. The combination. So it's a combination, but I also put in tripeptide 29 using peptide technology. I think it's very, very valuable because this progesterone, we can use this around our eye. Now, while I mentioned that those wrinkles down there are much more important than our wrinkles up here, what can I say? So we can use the progesterone cream on our face and neck to help tighten and are on our chest, décolletage area, so to help with age spots. And you'll see like I have no age spots on my hands. I'm 53 and I'm a sun worshiper as a Leo. And but this tripeptide, I think the combination of the three really helps. There are progesterone receptors in our fascia. It's necessary. With progesterone and pregnenolone, you want to rotate sites and take 1 or 2 days off a week, or 3 to 5 days off a month if you're postmenopausal, and or use it with your luteal phase of your cycle. And so progesterone and pregnenolone, fabulous benefit with the tripeptide and some essential oils in here. But rotate sites. So you can use it also the labial area. Typically clients use it at night. Now remember, when we're using progesterone and pregnenolone, it is the precursor to cortisol. So if we're shunting a lot of cortisol, you may feel like, okay, I need to use it in the morning, or we really need to, of course, we always want to manage cortisol first. And so I manage cortisol with Mighty Maca Plus, my greens combination. That's an adaptogenic blend. And so a lot of times we manage it that, but also lifestyle, gratitude journaling, getting, centered, not worrying about what we can't control, right? And a lot of those practices that I talk about in my Keto Green way of doing things, those practices and principles. But a little bit, it's nighttime now, so you want to use the same thing. I like to make concentrated, so you're not forever rubbing cream all over you.
Right.
And you use it where you need it. And it really, for me, it helps with, skin, hair, getting a good night's sleep. And it's just the best blend. And you want it to smell good. And so it just has some essential oils, no fragrance, no parabens, nothing yucky in it. So, and then just put it on. It's that nighttime, here in Southeast Georgia, it is almost 9 o'clock. And so got to get my on.
That's right. Ladies, I'm ordering this tomorrow, by the way, for the office. So we will have it in the office. I do use one, but I didn't realize this had pregnenolone in it. Angie says, because Angie sent me a bunch of testimonials for you today. She says, I was in my 30s when Dr. Cabeca introduced me to her Pure Balance PPR. It was a game changer for my menstrual cycle, which was mostly non-existent and in balancing my hormones, specifically helping me get out of the state of estrogen dominance, which I see so much of in my perimenopausal women, those, bloating and painful breasts and PMS and all that estrogen dominance. So she says, I've tried many creams over the years, but most were not as noticeably effective as Pure Balance. This product, this is a product that you want to check with your women's health doctor to see, if it'd be beneficial for you. Well, if I'm your provider, then it's okay. It's probably okay. So yeah, she swears by it. And I know that how important pregnenolone and progesterone are. So, and I didn't think about putting it on my face. I look a little like my English bulldog right here recently. Mm-hmm. So I need to
put it, and on your neck.
Okay.
Now you wouldn't follow it with a salivary test. If we're putting it on our neck, we would just use, but so it does make a difference. It's nice. Why not, right? If I'm going to make a cream and we're going to use it, it's got to be multi-purpose.
That's exactly right. Tell us about the Mighty Maca Greens, because I work a lot with adrenals, and you just said that, this has got some adaptogens and things in it. What about your Mighty Maca?
So my Mighty Maca Plus formula has over 30 superfoods. It's a greens blend with over 30 superfoods. It has quercetin, turmeric, resveratrol, grapeseed extract, green tea extract. It has a combination of fruits and that I've experienced around the world, as well as a herb from Peru, una de gato, which is cat's claw herb, which is a potent, can't say anti-inflammatory, what can I say? Supporter of your immune system's natural response. And maca, organic kosher maca from Peru. As part of my journey around the world, I landed in Peru. My nurse who worked with me was a nurse midwife from Peru. And so we stayed with her family. But everywhere we went, they said, if you're tired, drink maca. If you're fatigued, if you're not thriving, drink maca. If your baby's not thriving, drink maca. If you're infertile, drink maca. And then they would elbow my husband at the time and say, it's the Peruvian Viagra. So I'm like, oh, of course, we're drinking some maca, right? But I couldn't stand the taste. So I started blending it with other superfoods as I traveled around the world. So acerola and in Brazil, and it went on from there. So that's how it became this blend, and I started using it for myself. And that I really do attribute the adaptogenic blend plus God's mercy on me being able to reverse that menopause at 39 and conceive and have a healthy baby when I was 41 after I failed all the infertility treatments. And so that was part of it. And then using it in my practice, Dani, for clients, for PMS, for hot flashes. I have women who've had breast cancer, and so they were not allowed any estrogen. And we put them on Mighty Maca Plus, and their symptoms improved. We ran some evaluations looking at clients pre and post using, or after 2 months of using Mighty Maca Plus, and we had as much as a 70% increase in DHEA. Now, I had been on Wilson's protocol. I had done like 10 bottles of different stuff because my DHEA was in the tank, was in the teens.
Yes, mine too.
And then after I, created Mighty Maca from my cocktail of combination, rechecked it, my DHEA went up to 230 after a few months. Yes. And now it stays about 130, 140. And I take, other than Julva, no other DHEA supplementation. So that's how, and we've had men and women in the study that looked at 70% increase in DHEA in 2 months. I didn't get that result with any other, and also an improvement in progesterone. If we support our adrenals, we support our progesterone. It's kind of that, top down, bottom up approach.
You bet. You bet. Well, Angie, again, wrote a very long, I'm going to email this to you because you're going to want to use this on your website. But I mean, she's an Iron Man, right? She is an endurance lifetime athlete over there. She says, I've enjoyed using Mighty Maca to manage excessive acidity levels that are produced from long training and thus accelerate recovery. I enjoy mixing it up in the afternoon if I'm experiencing an energy dip. Well, how great would that be rather than a big old cup of coffee? I feel like I'm feeding my body all the nutrients that it needs, and it goes on and on and on. And then she gets into talking about your Keto Green shakes. So I want to know about that because we need to get every single bit of this in the office.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
What about your Keto Green shakes?
So the nice thing about the Keto Green shake, it's 0 grams of sugar. And in one scoop, there's 14 grams of protein and 3 to 4 grams of fat. So from MCT oil. And instead of just using a rice pea blend, it is a vegan blend. But instead of just using rice pea, I added in sunflower seeds, watermelon seeds, and pumpkin seeds for their hormone balancing and benefit, right? And all the good benefits that we know that seeds give us. So I did that and added in, of course, your methylated vitamins. So a good complement of vitamins and minerals and antioxidants, more quercetin in there, more antioxidants in there. So we're really, I think it's just a supportive blend, especially if we're doing just like a mini fast, just drinking shake. I mean, you're really getting a lot to help support your body. So we see some beautiful benefits from this combination. And again, our clients did this in Keto Green 16 in the group medical visit, and they just had great results. And again, not to feel hungry. We don't want to feel deprived. We want to feel like we're nourished. And I always say with the Keto Green shake is that's a base, but you can add your extra handful of greens, add your signature stuff, ginger or cinnamon or nut butter. You can add onto it to increase the protein, or use 2 scoops. Yeah.
So is that with 1 scoop?
With 1 scoop, 14 grams of protein, 3 to 4 grams of fat, and 0 grams of sugar. So for our Weight Watchers people, it's 2 Weight Watchers points. I had to calculate that.
Wow. She said, I wanted a meal replacement shake that is calorie conscious, nutrient dense, healthy fats, a good source of fiber, low in carbs, and a good source of protein. which is gluten, dairy, and GMO free. And for all these reasons, I love the Keto Green Shake. I'm telling you, you're going to love this when I send this to you.
Angie,
Literally wrote a full page about you. So, I mean, she's one of your biggest fans, but okay.
I'm a fan of Angie too. Listen, when Dani told me that you were she was taking care of you, you were her client, I was like, I know her. I love this woman. What a beautiful, determined, smart, just kind-spirited woman she is.
You bet she is, and smart as a whip, and just a phenomenal athlete. But I'm just telling you, I am so honored to have you on here tonight. I know you've been busy. I know this COVID-19 thing has had you busy. I've watched multiple webinars and things with you on during this time. But okay, I want to know, what else? Do you have anything else you want to tell us? And then I want to know, how are they going to get in touch with you? For sure. And what are they going to do? All the things. And when this is over with, guys, I'll have Dr. Cabeca. She can post up all of her website, anything she wants to put up there. So in order for you all to get in touch with her. But give us some final thoughts here. And
I think really right now what's important is, as we can have a stress physiology, it's shifting our physiology, it's shifting our mind. And I think the practices that I'm doing right now is, kind of this practice, I write about it in the Hormone Fix, is, where did I love well today?
That's right. That's right.
And where did I see love today? Where did I feel love today? And I think that just where did I love well today is just a good reflection on the day. And that we just focus on that, because love is the most powerful, is the most powerful medicine. And with that, oxytocin, the most powerful hormone in our body, an alkalinizing hormone, an immunoprotective hormone. And so the more we can focus on that and garner our thoughts and nourish our mind, our body, our spirit, and our relationships, because stress can really nix our relationships. I write about this in my story, my whole concept of the physiology of divorce.
Yes.
And it's a real physiology. So we can't allow this burnout to to conquer some things that could be really, really special long-term in our lives. And instead that we build that up. So love is medicine. It's the most powerful medicine in our body. And
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So get a hold of me. Join me at my website at dranna.com. So
yes.
Joanna, DRANNA.com. And I'm on Instagram at Dr. Anna Cabeca and Facebook. So,
but also you have somebody mentioned earlier that your menopause course is phenomenal. So talk about courses real quick. I know we're over an hour. Good Lord. Normally it's like 45 minutes, but I know, look at us.
Oh, we got a lot of questions, so we can answer. I'm here with you to run through the questions. I'm also going to post, I'm going to give your audience a free course. Dan, I have a 10-day Keto Green course, Breeze Through Menopause, 10-day Keto Green course. So I have lifetime access for that I want to give your audience. So I can send you the link, or I can post it here.
Yeah. Well, you can post it. Oh my gosh. Oh, the Fed Up Pharmacist is on here tonight. Oh my gosh. Kirsty, it's good to see you. Kirsty and I were you in California this year at Mindshare?
Yes.
Yeah. So we flew out there together. She's a Kentucky girl as well. She's the Fed Up Pharmacist. She's a pharmacist who's fed up. So there you go. She's got a perfect name. Oh my goodness. Well, you can post it on there. Thank you so much for doing that. Did you guys hear that? She's going to give you guys a Keto Green 10-day course. And so she's got several courses. She has a menopause course. Don't you have a vaginal health course?
I have a sexual CPR program.
Yes, that's it. Sexual.
Yep, you can get my arousal secrets at sexualcpr.com. So that's a good place to start. And the sexual CPR program is really fabulous. It is certainly a passion of mine, because I talk about, a whole bunch of stuff when it comes to sex, my own personal experience as well as working with thousands and thousands of women, and how we holistically reclaim that sexy feminine energy, which is on fire. I mean, y'all see it in Dani, right? On fire, it lights us up, and it keeps us, directing that passion into the areas of our life that are so deserving of it, that light us up: our work, our family, our hobbies,
That's right.
other, right? And that's so critical.
Well, I'm going to tell you, when you just said hobbies, I just realized what few hobbies I have the last several weeks, and I've still been working and I'm doing telehealth and all that, but I don't really have many hobbies. And I don't know about you, but like I just don't have any hobbies, and it's just really sad. And I mean, I read, I work, I take care of my kid. Well, my kids are grown, but I own a practice. I'm a single mom and all these things, and I take care of a house, and I don't have any hobbies. That's a huge thing. I think we need to, I don't believe that this COVID-19 situation that we're in is all bad at all. I think it's really making us rethink a whole lot of things and regroup and spend some time. I know in my neighborhood, there are people in the yard playing with their kids and things I don't always see. And I'm just embracing this time. I mean, I'm still having to work, but I'm rethinking some things, and I got to get a hobby. I don't know what, but I've got to find a hobby too to do. I don't know what your hobbies are, but I clearly am hobbyless. I've been raising my kids,
Yeah,
and
100%. I know.
and that's not good, ladies. And I tell women every day, you are worthy to be 100%. You are worthy to take care of yourself. God says you're worthy. You are worthy. You don't put your oxygen mask on first to take care of everybody else, the husband and the kids and all that. You put your oxygen mask on first because you're worthy to be saved on whatever's going. We're talking about the airplane going down, but in general, you are worthy to be first. And I have forgotten that a little bit, and I'm visiting that right now with myself during this time. But everybody says thank you so much. I'd love to see you take up hip hop. What?
Yeah, Dani, you got to take up hip hop. I can absolutely see that with your hula hoop.
I can't dance. What the wrong with you? This hair looks like that I dance on tables and I do crazy things. I am so white. It is not even funny. White girl from Gilbertsville, Kentucky, who does not dance, but I do love my hula hoop. That's a fact.
There you go. There you go. That's perfect.
All right, guys. I know that. Are you still going to places? Like if we scheduled something, I know on your website it says that, you might speak at some point if we brought you to town. And you had different seminar or different things that you would speak on. Guys, if y'all want to, I know this is Be Live and it's a little bit different, heart buttons and all, but if you want to see her in Nashville, which is, of course, the town to be in, if you want us to bring her here, you need to hit your heart buttons and your like buttons, because I'd love to have you here.
I would love to be there. I spent my 50th birthday in Nashville.
What?
Mm-hmm. It was fabulous.
Just 4 years ago. Yeah, it's a great city and we love it. And we have a tribe who is a phenomenal tribe here, and they would show up for you. So as soon as you get this book out and you get your things done, we're going to bring you to Nashville. Yes, Valerie Maple says I need to take up pickleball. That is on my list of things. Have you ever played pickleball?
Not yet, but I'm determined to learn it. I'm going to learn it.
Yeah, it's on my list of things to do. All right, my friend. I know you guys, we are over. I am so sorry. And you all have hung in here like I have never seen. So Dr. Cabeca has put up the code and your course. Yeah, I can't get over to it for whatever reason right now. There we go. If you guys have any other questions, put them up there. She can answer them later. I appreciate you, my friend.
I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you all.
I'm so excited about your book. Can't wait to get it.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.